Hey everybody, so this is going to be a Yuri's Revenge game, and Torvita, but it's going to start in the late game because I wanted to show you guys the late game. In the beginning of the game, like, if you already seen, like, the Green Jade defense, that's what happened. I want to show you, the reason why I'm just cutting through half the game is because I want to show you how to deal late game with, Soviet Iron Curtain. When you realize, if the LA gets ahead, what happens is that the Soviet is going to just keep busting out the Iron Curtain every time. And then, I actually found out through practice, don't even bother making the weather control device, just make a defense, because you're not gonna, you can do it if you think it's safe to. So, and then you got to run away with the Iron Curtain. Run away with the Iron Curtain when the Iron Curtain is on. And, see, he's killing those prism towers, but especially just prism towers in the middle. And he's trying to desolate him. And I see this prism tower is actually holding him off a little bit. But you need extra power plants to support those guys and the prism towers. One of the best things you could do is make a defense to defend against the Iron Curtain. The reason is because it's a small map. He could basically Iron Curtain right on top of you every time, over and over and over. Now, this Soviet player, he's actually a pretty good Soviet. It actually took him a while to get that nuclear missile. Some games he doesn't want to make the nuclear missile because you can put more money into industrial plant and then to spam tanks and units. So now this LAS is going to attack. But remember, the Iron Curtain is coming out in 1 minute. So Atlas is going to go back to his base and notice that if you see 4 prism tanks, that probably means that there's going to be a chronosphere usually onto the super weapons. And there it is. Boom, boom. He got one. He got the Iron Curtain, but the nuclear missile is more expensive. So he's better off keeping the nuclear missile alive. I notice at the Soviet attacks from the bottom, it will be a little bit harder because that prism tower is going to keep shooting stuff. And if he attacks from the top, the Allies is going to have more time to react because he's going to see it coming. But when he attacks in the middle, and he's not driving too far of a distance. And this prism tower you got to use this prism towers to keep you alive. So you got some gap generators up too. If you look on the mini map, you can see where the gap generators are. He probably wants to go for the battle lab to put the force shield down, because then he can't force shield when he corner spheres the next time and save his nuclear missile or other buildings. So Soyboy actually has the right idea of how he's playing. If I were him, I would make like 2 sentry guns around the super weapons, but the guy didn't want to do it. I would put a battle bunker over there. Because you got the desolators, because the battle bunker or Tesla Tower. Tesla Tower might be even a little better than a battle bunker because of the fact that the Tesla Tower has more range and it's better at killing those a GI battle fortress. Because usually late game to go for a GI battle fortress when you got because desolators can't kill a GI battle fortress like they could kill the prisms. So they go for that lab again, I think, but. And Soviet player should not run through the desolator like that. He's going to lose his flag trucks. And here comes Soviet. He's getting ready for his next Iron Curtain. But this Mirage tank shouldn't move back if he. And I don't know why he nuclear missiled right there. If he would have nuclear missiled right on top of where the power plant is, he would have got all his power plants, killed maybe 2 airports, maybe got a ore purifier, and maybe killed those prism tanks depending on where they moved. I think what he was trying to do is make his tanks run back and then nuke where he thinks his tanks are going to run to and then kill all his Mirage tanks. He thought he had something clever, but sometimes if you try something clever, it's too clever and it's too sophisticated to work. Another player's gonna, not fall for the trap. So you gotta not do that. And another thing is you could hear the nuclear missile sometimes, and then you could move out of the way because it gives you 5 seconds to move. And then if you move all your units, you're not gonna be able to nuke their units unless the units are so clamped up, like in one of those survival maps. Then you could like nuke the computer. But I want to do that here. And the guy was telling him, don't mess around with nuclear and missile and tanks. Not worth it. And by the way, if there was a Red Alert 4, I would think that the V3s, or the V4s, or the V5s would have a nuclear missile warhead attached to them. That'd be funny. So Iron Curtain, and look at how the Allies is using this Iron Curtain a lot better than what the Soviet uses nuke. And the Soviet really could actually win the game if you would hit. You gotta hit good nukes, and it's always better to nuke their base. But if the tanks are in the base, you could try to go for them as long as if you're trying to go for both. But he's looking for the corner sphere. I would secure that area, honestly. If I were the Soviet, I'd put like more sentry guns than that. You can put the nuclear power plant in the corner. Because if you keep the super weapons alive, the Soviets can have a good chance of winning this if you keep the super weapons alive. If super weapons die, Soviets in trouble. And now, Allied made the weather control device late game. Does it look like it's 26 minutes into the game? So you could kind of see this is a very long game. You see the timer in the upper right, how long the game's been going on. Oh, he's smashing everything with that corner sphere. The corner sphere is... Now he's got to run. Now notice this is where the prism towers come in handy. And now Orange has to do two things at once. He has to finish him off. Look, he got the nuclear power plant. Shoot that desolator. It don't matter. He's just shooting as many buildings as he can. Actually, what he's doing is actually right, maybe. Shooting as much as he can, just avoid the desolator for a few seconds and get another building or two. So it's not out yet, but the longer it gets, the more difficult it is. The more difficult it is for the Soviet. So he's making sure that the battle lab is out. One reason is for the force shield. That's the most important reason late game, because this is turning into more of a super weapon war than anything, and the corner sphere being one of the most significant factors in the super weapon war. And now here comes all his thing. He's going in for the attack, and this will be hard for the Soviet to survive. He's gonna have to wait for his Iron Curtain. Does he have enough time? See, and he tried to nuke his things again. I mean, I told him, I was like, yo, don't do that, dude. But he wanted to. He wanted. I don't know if he's in desperation or something, but he really shouldn't be in desperation because he's not doing that bad. The Soviets not doing that bad. Yo, 2 nukes in the base, man. He put the Ally. He might not even be able to keep up this Tesla core. I mean, sorry, the Prism Towers. You might not be able to keep up this Prism Towers if he nuked the power plants. And he just like steamroll through them with the Iron Curtain and Reiner tanks. I know if I were the Soviet right there, I would kill those power plants and the refinery and the gap drainer and get out of there. I think he went in a little too deep. But now, if he's right there, he should fight, because when you run away, it's hard to fire at Mirage tanks when you run away. And look, another Prism Tower. This Prism Towers are all over the place. God. You got him again with the weather device. So that's how you gotta defend. And the small map with this, with the iron curtains, you're gonna hit repeated iron curtains over and over and over. You gotta have like prism towers or some kind of way of defending. Because even if your army's ahead, they're gonna go invulnerable and blow everything up. So good game. This LA's Korea is going to win. And just wanted to show you guys that prism tower defense. This isn't the first video I did like this, showing the prism tower defense, but definitely an important one. And now he's just